Cumberland Gap, just a natural gap in the Cumberland mountain range. And it was a real strategic point in the Civil War. They even set up their defenses here, and they even set up a long-range artillery gun called Long Tom. Now the South had it first, from 61 to 62, and then the North had it from 62 to 63, then the South again from 63 to 64, and then from 64 to 865, the North kept it to the end of the war. It had been exchanged hands 4 times. Now that was an outbreak of the measles in 1863 here when the Confederates had it, and they would quarantine whole regiments just to keep from getting the other soldiers infected. And they would just keep them isolated, try to get them well, to get them back out on the line. In the meantime, there was 4 close friends here that was stationed here in this regiment, and they come up with a crazy idea. They was going to get rich, after this war, and they come up with a good idea they thought would work. Now they know they got paid about every month or every other month with gold coins from the Confederate Army, and not in paper bills either. A chest full of gold would ship in on a quartermaster shipment, and they'd get paid in coins. So I thought there was always skirmishes going on, picket lines, patrols, ambushes, all around the perimeter of this gap. And they thought they'd have a good idea that they would rob this payroll coming in and blame it on the other side, the Union side, and get away with it. Now, after they got out of quarantine, they got together and they slipped out of camp that night that the payroll was supposed to be coming in. They got past the guards, and they waited it on the road, waiting on it to come in. Ambush it. And when it did, they sprung out here and shot the guards. Got rid of them right off the bat. And then they held up the payroll master here. And it's said that they killed the payroll masters and all the people associated with it. And they took the wagon and throwed it over a cliff and run the horses off. And then they hid the gold stash in some rocks or a cave up above the road. And they thought they would come back later and get it at a later date. So they snuck back into the camp there before daylight, and business as usual, till they could get back up there and get their gold. But things don't work out like it always seems to be. Their regiment got shipped out and transferred to another unit. And as time went on, 3 of the 4 died in action. Never to return. Now the 4th and final one, he got wounded and he was on his deathbed, and he had a close friend that he'd become friends with, and he told him what they'd done, how they robbed them, where they hid the gold at, every detail that he could. Now this guy was called John Delaney. He come to Middlesboro, Kentucky in 1867. He was from Mississippi. He was not from the area, so he didn't know the area very good. But he'd been searching for weeks and weeks, trying to find what the soldier had told him, his friend, before he died. And I reckon he looked everywhere. Kentucky side, Tennessee side, the Virginia side, but he didn't know the country too good. And after a while, he finally become friends with the hotel owner, and he told him his story. And this story's been passed down now for about 3 generations. Is it truth or is it fact? Nobody never knows. Well, he searched for months, and he finally checked out of the hotel and just disappeared and never came back. So, to this day, it's not known if it's been found, or he found it, or it's not been found, but this is the story, the tale of the lost Cumberland Gap payroll gold. So, hope you enjoyed this little bit of history and this story. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.